Today, New Zealand home prices roar higher. Hello again, it's Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics, one of the latest posts covering finance and property news with a distinctively Australian and New Zealand flavour. The Real Estate Institute of New Zealand has released their January 2020 residential report today, and they reported the busiest January in 4 years. The annual average rise across New Zealand was 7%, with Auckland at 4.4% and other areas up 9.1%. Auckland is actually now among the faster rising regions, and prices in Canterbury are rising, although slow to date, than many other regions. In January, the median number of days to sell a property nationally decreased by 6 days, from 48 to 42 when compared to January 2019, and that's the lowest days to sell for the month of January in 3 years. Low interest rates and lighter regulation are driving the market. Over 2019, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand cut the official cash rate from 1.75% to 1%, and they indicate that the OCR will remain at 1% for some time. In response, household debt continues to rise. Lower debt servicing costs enables higher household spending on consumption, although returns from savings will be lower as well. But housing affordability remains a problem. Over the past year, New Zealand construction activity has ramped up substantially, while net migration has steadily declined. And the cancellation of earlier plans to introduce a capital gains tax has also helped to drive the market. For New Zealand, excluding Auckland, the number of properties sold increased by 0.9% when compared to the same time last year, from 3,279 to 3,308, and also the highest for the month of January in 4 years. In Auckland, the number of properties sold in January increased by 9.7% year on year, from 1,180 to 1,295, and that's the highest number of residential properties sold in the month of January since January 2016. Sales in Auckland were the highest for the month of January in 4 years, with particularly strong uplifts in sales volumes in the North Shore up 29%, Waitakatere City up 28.6%, and Rodney District up 21.1%. Regions outside Auckland with the highest percentage increase in annual sales volumes during January were Nelson up 42.6% from 54 to 77, 23 more houses. Wanganui up 15.3% from 281 to 324, or 43 more houses. And that's the highest for the month of January in 3 years. The Bay of Plenty up 11.5% from 340 to 379, which is 39 more houses. And that's the highest for the month of January in 4 years. And Marlborough up 11.3% from 62 to 69, 7 more houses. Regions with the largest decrease in annual sales volumes during January were the Tasman, down 29.3% from 58 to 41, which is 17 fewer houses. And that's the lowest since January 2017. Southland, down 27.2% from 151 to 110, or 41 fewer houses. And that's the lowest for the month of January in 6 years. And Otago, down 17.1% from 269 to 223, or 46 fewer houses. And that's the lowest for the month of January in 9 years. In the recent Reserve Bank New Zealand monetary policy statement, they indicated that over the medium term, annual house price inflation is expected to slow as net immigration moderates. Residential construction activity remains high, and the effect of past lower mortgage rates fade. However, they expect residential investment growth to pick up over the next 6 months, in line with recent high levels of residential building consent issuance. That said, residential investment is forecast to decline very gradually as a share of GDP later in their projection period, reflecting ongoing capacity constraints in the construction sector. In December 2019, the government announced a substantial investment package of $12 billion, equivalent to around 4% of annual nominal GDP. The Treasury forecasts that $8.1 billion will be spent between June 2020 and June 2024, mainly on infrastructure projects, which is probably just as well, given that business investment is forecast to fall ahead. But standing back, once again, you can see the old ploy, using the housing sector to drive wealth, to drive activity, and to drive the economy, and of course all fueled by ever more debt. I've heard that plan somewhere before. I'm Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.